when a person loses themselves while trying to prove themselves, inner conflict and social pressure. A person's biggest mistake is not that they connect with the wrong people, but that they begin to treat their pain as something normal. That is the moment when a person starts lying to themselves for the first time. At first, the heart says, "This doesn't feel right." But the mind explains, "You're too sensitive. You don't need to worry about everything." And in the end, the person decides, "Fine, I'll tolerate it." This is the moment when a person begins to hide themselves, suppresses their truth, and starts betraying their own emotions. Welcome to my channel. You are watching Memorable Stories. Before listening to this video, make one thing clear. If you are still trying to keep everyone happy, then write just one word in the comments. "I am tired." And then watch this video till the end, because what comes next will show you a mirror, not an excuse. The society we live in does not make us strong, it makes us silent. It does not teach us to cry, it teaches us to endure. It does not teach us to question, it teaches us to submit. This society ignores the hidden wounds inside every person. And even the one who is broken inside is labeled strong in social terms. And then we wonder why people are broken inside, why pain keeps accumulating in their hearts, and why eyes cry silently while lips say nothing. We often say, "I will change. Maybe everything will be fine." But we never ask, "Do I really need to change?" Because sometimes the problem is not your behavior, but the nature of the person in front of you. Their psychology, their ego, and their need for control. We listen to our mistakes, but we never think that some people play with your emotions just to prove their own power. Some people stay with you because you are quiet, because you don't question, because you blame yourself every time. They see your patience as their strength, your humility as their victory. The day you start loving yourself, that same day you will be called a difficult person, because people realize you are no longer part of their game. That is the day you stand with truth and become free from the comfort that exists only in others' eyes. The deal between peace and loneliness. The price of peace is often loneliness, and this is the deal that scares people. We lose our inner silence while living in people's noise, just so we don't end up alone. But no one tells you that, even with the wrong people, a person is still alone. This is the loneliness felt even in a crowd. When you laugh, talk, receive praise, yet feel empty inside. We think that if relationships break, we will fall apart. But the truth is that some relationships don't hold you together. They hollow you out. They take your laughter, your sleep, your trust, and in the end, even your identity. These relationships teach you that being happy without others' permission feels impossible, while the truth is that happiness never needs permission. Self-love is not standing in front of a mirror and calling yourself beautiful. It begins the day you accept that every place where you feel small is not worthy of you. This is the strength that gives a person their identity back and stops others' opinions from controlling their happiness. Silent poison and habit. Some people make you feel that you are always less, that your words matter less, that your pain is exaggerated. This is the silent poison that slowly turns a person against themselves. And the most dangerous part is that a person becomes addicted to this poison. They start thinking, maybe the problem really is me. This is the point where a person loses their truth, where they silence their own voice and start searching for happiness in others' voices. Walking away quietly is not a decision of one day. It is the result of months of exhaustion, years of neglect, and breaking again and again. This decision is not made in anger. It is made in awareness. It is that awareness that brings a person closer to truth, the truth that people often mistake for weakness. Those who say, "Just talk it out, everything will be fine," do not understand that some people don't want conversation, they want dominance. Where you speak, you are lectured. Where you try to explain, you are pushed down. This reality is often painful, but it is true. Your peace is your identity, and no one can take it from you. Peace does not mean being happy all the time. Peace means having no noise inside. And if a person, place, or situation creates a storm within you, staying there is not bravery, it is negligence. We were taught that letting go is weakness, but we were never taught that losing yourself is the greatest defeat. Real strength lies in protecting yourself, not in fighting every battle. This video does not teach you to leave people. It teaches you to recognize yourself. It says, your life is not someone's testing ground. Your heart is not meant to become. A person often does not accept that they are not bound by love, but by fear. This fear is so silent and hidden that a person does not even realize it themselves. They say, "I can't leave." But the truth is, I am afraid of being alone. This difference is not small. It changes an entire life, because decisions made in fear take a person away from their own self. In fear, a person makes others' happiness their priority, suppresses their own truth, and imprisons their life within the grip of others' expectations. The fear of loneliness makes a person do things they would never do consciously. They stay silent where they should speak. They bend where they should stand. They accept themselves as wrong where they are not at fault. All of this just so someone stays, or so they do not feel alone. This fear is so powerful that a person often forgets that being alone is not failure, but an opportunity to reconnect with their identity. We were never taught that staying with the wrong people is the suicide of the soul. Society calls the crowd strength, but it never tells us that in a crowd, the loneliest person is often the quietest one. 2. The damage of silencing the inner voice. A person does not break because of loneliness. A person breaks by silencing their own voice. When you convince your heart every day that, "I'll just tolerate it today," you are slowly abandoning yourself. This process is silent, but its ending makes a very loud noise. This noise wakes you at night, again and again, reminding you that you suppressed your truth. Your breaths grow heavy, your heart becomes restless, and you think perhaps this is life, while in reality, you are imprisoning yourself. 3. Chains that are invisible. Some relationships are like chains. They do not kill you, but they do not let you move. You breathe, but you are not free. You smile, but you are not weightless. These chains are often psychological. They make you believe that you are nothing without them, that your identity is tied to their approval, and that your happiness depends on their will. The most dangerous thing is that a person mistakes this for love. They think that if they sacrifice themselves, perhaps they will be accepted in love. But the truth is that love is not imprisonment. Love is not fear. And love does not require erasing yourself. Where you start making yourself smaller, there is no love. There, a game of power has begun. 4. The logic of fear and its questions. The strangest quality of fear is that it demands justification. What if I end up alone? What if no one understands me? What if I turn out to be wrong? But fear never asks this question. What if I lose myself? This is the fear that keeps a person away from their truth, that forces them to live according to others' will, and eventually makes them feel they are happy, when in reality, they are only living with habit. 5. Proving yourself for others. We often keep proving ourselves to others. We want someone to understand us, accept us, consider us important. We want our emotions to be valued. But we forget that when a person does not accept themselves, no acceptance from the world can fill that void. This is the greatest deception of losing oneself. No matter how many achievements a person gains, they remain weak in the search for others' praise and validation. 6. The true meaning of loneliness. The fear of being alone is actually the fear of sitting with yourself. Because in silence there are questions, memories, and those truths we have been running from. That is why we choose noise, even if that noise breaks us. We hide ourselves in busyness. We drown in conversations. We try to forget our loneliness in the crowd. But inside, the heart is always silently screaming. You are not with yourself. You are not with your soul. 7. Psychological captivity and slavery. Some people make you believe that you are nothing without them. This is the most dangerous psychological captivity. When a person hands their power over to others, they are no longer free, whether the chains are visible or not. Fear turns a person into a slave and gives slavery the name of love. This is why people, even while living in pain, say, "I am happy." This is not happiness. It is habit. This habit shackles a person, convinces them that their emotions have no value, and turns them into a statue of patience and endurance. 8. Power in solitude. The truth of solitude is this. Being alone means sitting with your wounds, accepting your mistakes, and rediscovering your worth. It is difficult, but this is the path that makes a human truly human. The one who learns to endure solitude does not lose themselves in any crowd. They know that their worth is not dependent on anyone's presence. And this awareness frees a person, liberates them from others' expectations, dominance, and pressure. Remember, the one who scares you of being alone does not want to make you strong, but wants to keep you weak. And the one who makes you feel that you are enough on your own is your true well-wisher, even if that person is you yourself. A person often misunderstands the meaning of freedom. They think freedom means doing whatever the heart wants, whatever one wishes, fulfilling every desire. But true freedom is not what appears on the outside. It is what is felt from within. It is the freedom that gives you the courage to make decisions according to your heart, the freedom that gives you the strength to stand in front of your fears, your sensitivity, and your truth. Often people think that being free means you do not follow what anyone says. This is a partial truth, but it is not complete freedom. True freedom is what gives you the authority to make the decisions of your life yourself instead of following others' desires. To first understand your emotional needs, set your boundaries, and keep your happiness free from others' will. The expensive deal of loyalty to yourself. Loyalty to yourself is the most expensive deal, because its price is often people's displeasure, misunderstandings, and sometimes even complete loneliness. When you say yes for others, when you break your own boundaries, you forget that boundaries do not imprison you. Boundaries protect you. The day you learn that saying no is also necessary for everything, that day your life takes a new direction. It is the day you understand that standing up for your worth is not weakness. The day you realize that your freedom begins from within you. The real problem is not why people break us. The real problem is that we make breaking ourselves a habit. Staying silent every time is not tolerance. Sometimes it is betrayal of the self. Deep inside, we know that this decision is not right. But fear, others' expectations, and habit silence us. Freedom does not come from noise or announcements. Freedom does not come from noise. Freedom does not come from announcements. It is the moment when you stop making decisions against your heart. That day is silent, but its echo is heard throughout life. These are the moments that remind you every day that you have recognized yourself, that you have chosen loyalty to your truth, and that you have refused to prioritize others' expectations at the cost of your soul. Some people come into your life as lessons, not to stay. And the one who turns a lesson into a relationship does not learn, but gets stuck. Wisdom lies in recognizing which pain is strengthening you and which pain is destroying you. Forgiveness and self-freedom. We often consider forgiveness a weakness, whereas true forgiveness is not given to others, but to oneself. The day you forgive yourself for being late, that day you begin to become free. This forgiveness gives you the authority to put down the burden of your mistakes and free your soul without anyone's command or permission. Loyalty to yourself does not mean that you are always right. It means that you stop repeating your mistake for the sake of others. The one who recognizes themselves once never sells themselves cheap again. This is the strength that gives a person the courage to set boundaries. Being alone and being free. Being alone and being free are not the same things. Some people are imprisoned in crowds, and some people are free in solitude. The difference is only courage. The hardest stage of freedom is accepting that you cannot keep everyone happy. And when you accept this, your burden becomes lighter. People will call you selfish, changed, arrogant. But these are the labels every free person receives. These are the names that tell you that you have broken the chain of others' expectations and protected your soul. Peace and inner cleansing. Peace is not related to silence, but to cleanliness. When there is no lie, blame, or force around you, the heart naturally becomes peaceful. Peace is not something that comes from outside. It is the state that remains after the noise is gone. Remember, your life is not someone's experiment, and your heart is not someone's practice. The one who tests you again and again is not testing you, but your endurance. Letting go of explaining yourself. One stage of freedom is also when you stop giving explanations. The one who wants to understand will understand even in silence, and the one who does not will remain confused even in words. Not every battle needs to be fought. Some battles are won by letting them go. This is the wisdom that makes a person strong from within and does not let them waste their energy on every small fight. Connecting with yourself. When you connect with yourself, the noise of the world becomes faint. Then the lack of likes does not break you. Being ignored does not reduce you. Being alone does not feel empty. Because you are with yourself. Your happiness begins from within you, and your worth is not dependent on anyone's permission. Choosing self-love. Every day, self-love is not the final destination. It is a daily choice. Standing up for yourself every day, choosing your peace every day, and protecting your boundaries every day. This is freedom. This is true strength. And this is the lesson that teaches a person self-recognition. In the end, a truth that few people accept. Those who live peacefully after you leave could never truly understand your pain. And those who change after you leave were actually accustomed to your silence. This is the moment when a person turns back and finds themselves, when they realize that their worth is not defined by anyone's opinion, but by their own awareness. And after that moment, they are truly free. This video helps the listener understand the importance of freedom, loyalty to oneself, and inner strength, and encourages them to apply it practically in their life. If you learned something new or felt inspired, share it in the comments below and subscribe to improve your life with every video.